One of the last Russian missile systems has shown up in the news recently. The Buk M3 system was spotted in Luhansk. That's quite the headline given the power of this weapon. The entire military industry of Russia has revolved around this complex for several decades. It's a truly powerful weapon capable of executing several combat missions at once. The complex can even fight against ground and surface targets in conditions of intense electronic countermeasures. All of this is only made possible thanks to the missile that Buk uses. It was made to be a killer. It has a speed of 9,800 feet per second, 2.5 times the speed of sound. This allows it to overtake 90% of its targets while also successfully evading enemy defenses. Its relatively small 130-pound warhead may seem weak to you, but not when it comes to anti-aircraft systems. One of the system's most awesome features is its ability to fire all of its missiles at the same time. Fully loaded, the Buk can provide simultaneous shelling of up to 36 air targets flying from any direction. In addition to its attacking abilities, the weapon also features advanced defensive characteristics. Although in all fairness, it should be said that the Buk M3 has worthy competitors who could put an end to it. One of these is the UK's Brimstone 2, which was recently sent to Ukraine. Previously, the older first version of the system had been supplied. It had already served well on the battlefield, but it had one problem. An attack range of 7 miles just doesn't cut it in modern times. Sure, it can shoot down helicopters and old fighters, but that's clearly not enough against more dangerous targets. So while developing the Brimstone 2, Britain invested tens of millions of dollars to improve its flight performance. The second version has an attack range 5 times higher, reaching up to 37 miles when launched from an aircraft. An impressive number, but that's still a little less than the Buk M3. So this begs the question, how to destroy the best Russian complex with this missile? There is actually a way. The Brimstone has one important advantage, a combined guidance system. It doesn't need a specified target, it finds it by itself. A fighter need only to fly into the enemy territory, release the Brimstone at the maximum range, and fly away to avoid a retaliatory strike. The projectile will do the rest of the work. Interestingly, the Brimstone 2 can also transmit data in mid-flight. Its designers created a kind of closed network to avoid situations where 2 shots were aimed at the same target.
Brimstone is the world's most advanced anti-armor missile and operationally proven in many environments and off many different types of platforms.
But of course, when it comes to attacking from the ground, the Brimstone loses out to another missile already in the hands of the Ukrainian military. The AIM-120 AMRAAM is an American all-weather medium-range air-to-air guided missile. The name literally stands for American Ram and fully reflects the nature of this powerful weapon. The AMRAAM is designed to destroy air targets beyond the line of sight. It's the main warhead of nearly all modern fighters, and its anti-aircraft version is launched from the containers of the NASAMS missile system. I think you already know how powerful NASAMS is, and the fact that it uses AIM-120 missiles is this anti-aircraft system's greatest advantage.
Fire control systems are rather complicated and they're rather expensive, and consequently a great premium was placed by Dr. McLean on keeping the fire control system in the rocket very simple and very inexpensive.
Supersonic flight speed allows it to shoot down any air targets, and an infrared guidance system is the easiest and most convenient to use. Simply press the launch button, and that's all it takes. Of course, these projectiles aren't as stealthy as those of the Buk, but they have a much larger operational range. The AMRAAM family of missiles has several modifications for various distances. The simplest of them can fly up to 45 miles, while the standard reaches 110 for now. Given its supersonic speed, this weapon is a huge threat to aerial targets.
It's a simple missile to employ. It's straightforward in its design. Its complexity has certainly increased as it's evolved over the years, but it was designed to be an easy missile to shoot, a reliable missile to get a good kill, and one that you didn't have to think a lot about or really work hard to sweeten up your shot.
It's worth noting that the US and the UK will be transferring the AN/TWQ-1 Avenger to Ukraine. It's a light, self-propelled anti-aircraft system with missiles and machine gun weapons designed for use against aerial targets. It must fight against the enemy's tactical and military aviation, several means of destruction, and other targets in the vicinity.
The Avenger system first came to notoriety when it was used to protect the Pentagon.
The use of ready-made components has helped facilitate the rapid development of the air defense system. The HMM-WV all-terrain vehicle was chosen to be the base of the complex, ensuring swift movement between points where protection against air attacks is urgently needed.
products, we brought with us the Avenger weapon system. It is a Stinger-based turret-mounted weapon system that's mounted to the back of a Humvee platform. In addition to that, we've also got man pads for a single soldier to shoulder launch a Stinger missile at aerial targets.
The Humvee is equipped with a freely rotating operator's cabin and a fire control module. On the sides of the module are 2 launchers holding 8 missiles, as well as a separate optoelectronic station and a machine gun. The majority of these complexes have 2 launchers with 4 FIM-92s on each. These are single-stage solid propellant missiles with infrared homing heads. Despite their small size, they're very agile, reaching speeds of 2,400 feet per second. The missile is well suited for dealing with low-flying targets like helicopters and cargo planes, and the complex could also become an excellent defender against the slow-moving kamikaze drones that are increasingly terrorizing the inhabitants of Ukraine. However, against bigger and faster targets, this won't be enough. The developers from Boeing recently came up with a plan to upgrade the Avenger so that it can use AIM-120 missiles. If this is done, then this complex will become a worthy competitor to the NASAMS because it's already faster, more maneuverable, and even smaller. However, instead of the AIM-120, another more suitable candidate came to mind. The RAM is a short-range anti-aircraft missile that's part of the ASMD weapon complex designed to defend ships from large-scale attacks. The rocket's design was based on borrowed components, particularly the infrared homing head from the Stinger and the engine warhead infused from the Sidewinder.
In fact, the Sidewinder was sort of an accident. After the war, World War II, Bureau Aeronautics said, well, we're in charge of airplanes, therefore we're in charge of all missiles launched from airplanes. Well, we worked for Bureau and we were going to do Sidewinder.
It's safe to say that the weapon's gotten the best parts of its predecessors and has brought their power to a new level. An attack range of 6 miles in altitude means that it can even shoot down high-flying drones, reconnaissance aircraft, and bombers. Passive infrared guidance provides the missile with the required accuracy and autonomy, but its range is limited, especially when intercepting low-flying targets. To compensate for this shortcoming, radar guidance can be switched on the nose of the rocket, leaving the enemy nowhere to hide. Such a projectile is perfect for the American Avengers, and when working in tandem, this complex is sure to be an excellent defender of Ukrainian skies. And with that, our video's come to an end. If you enjoyed it, don't hesitate to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Comments expressing your opinion about the video content are always welcome as well. Thank you for watching. See you soon.